back to the farm, everybody. We have made it to May. We got our first cutting of hay out. You saw some of the action there in the intro. So now we're going to pick up a couple bales and go drop them into the heifers and probably take a couple in for the bulls as well. And then we'll get started on, hopefully the wheat harvest should be ready in June. According to the calendar in the menu anyway, the wheat should be ready to harvest in June. I went and looked, and it says when I go into the field right now that it's at growth stage 7 of 7, so it just needs to ripen up, and we'll get that out of the field. You can see we did spend a little bit more money. I leased the mower that we use, but I did go ahead and buy the rake and the tedder that we used there, so a little bit money out, but not too bad. So let's drop this in here, see if that'll take it. It will. And so now if I go to the menu, now it says my heifers have 8,000 liters. They have a total of 20,000. Oh, so they're getting grass, so I have the grazing mod in there, so they're getting credit for the grass that's out there as well. So we'll go drop probably 2 more of these. We'll drop 2 more of these in here for the heifers, and probably take 1 up for the bulls. There's 100 heifers, but there's only 10 bulls, so 1 should be good for the bulls, but we'll get 3 in here for the heifers, and then we'll jump ahead to some more fun. The crops are coming in great. You can kind of see the soybeans up there on the hill looking green and starting to come in. I don't know if you noticed at the end of the other videos, but I ended up changing my fields. I realized that each of the farms have 3/4 of a section for crops. So I was like, well, why don't I just make 2 equal-sized fields, and 1 can be corn and 1 can be beans. So that's what I did. Everything, even though I put the anhydrous down, I ended up coming back and putting beans in over here, and then everything over at the other farmyard is corn, and then over by the ethanol plant we actually did 50-50, so we did half corn, half beans over there. So that worked out alright. So we got all the crops in the ground, they're coming in fine. June it will be time to get the wheat out of the ground. So we're gonna finish feeding the heifers here, and then we'll take 1 bale over to the bulls. Oops. And then we'll get the wheat out so we can get it sold. I did go ahead and lease a second combine. It is while I was at the dealership leasing the mower, I did find a 9610 that was a local trade, and they actually gave me a lease deal on it. So instead of buying it outright, I took a lease deal on it. So we do have our second combine, but we do not have headers for it yet. It came with a grain, or I did purchase a grain platform so we could get the wheat out, but we're going to have to purchase headers for the corn and soybeans still on that. And I think that's about all I changed off camera. Moved some equipment around, consolidated it. I have the 8430 over there on the fertilizer spreader because that needs to go back to the other farm, so I drove that over here to do this. And then I realized I need to take 1 of these tractors back to the other farm and get the bale trailer. So just a few moving pieces here. We're gonna do a little bit of landscaping also, since I'm going down to where I'm only having 1 crop on each field. I don't need, or 1 crop on each farm. I do not need 3 grain bins over here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna downsize and get rid of 2 of these grain bins for some extra money here. Let's go drop this bale in here for the bulls. Oh, come on. A little difficulty trucks back while we close the gate. Let's jump in here real quick, because I can't remember what size these bins are. These are 3605s. So what was the capacity on the 3605s? That's an 18,000 bushel bin, so I don't need 3 of those. So we're gonna go ahead and let's get rid of the one that's closest to the barn. Actually, that'll work. Gives us a little bit more room over there, and also gives us $20,000 to spare. I might come back and take the third one out eventually. But we're gonna go over and get ready for the straw harvest, and we'll see you in June. last of the straw baled up here, and then we'll be able to see how much money we're going to make off this small wheat field. You'll see the money's dropped again. You'll see here in a second where that went. One of the neighbors was actually having a retirement auction, and felt the need that maybe needed a third tractor, at least for the haying operation, to upgrade from the 4320. We're still keeping the 4320. We needed a little bit bigger horsepower for the direction we're thinking about going with the haying operation for the cows. So we purchased a third tractor for that farm. We may eventually buy a third tractor for this farm too. But we're finishing up that one swath of straw left here. And then we'll see where we're going to finish money-wise off of this field. All of the wheat is in the truck, but because it is not in a silo, I'm not able to get a good reading of actually how much money we're going to make off of that. So check that in a second too as we get back on this row here. This is the last row of straw. See quite a few bales out there, so looking like we made a good choice here. Let's see, we are now at $43,000 on the straw, but if I go here, it says I'm at 0 bushels on the wheat, so I'm not quite sure how much money we're going to get, because I do have a load of wheat in the truck. It's just not telling me how much is, it's just not telling me how much is there. So drive over there as soon as we get to the end of this row. Of course, are we gonna get lucky enough to get to 100%? No, we're not. I don't know if I left enough laying out there anywhere to get to 100, so we'll just go ahead and turn it off. I forget what the button is to get this last bale out of there. Why? So get that bale out. And then pull her up. Go back and look in the menu one more time. And the final tally there is $44,000 for the straw, so that'll almost make up for how much we spent on this tractor, which you can see right there. We went out and purchased us a white workhorse off of one of the neighbor's retirement auctions. You can see my beacon in the distance from the co-op we gotta take this wheat to. So there we go, our white 195 workhorse. It's got the trailer on there, started to pick up the bales already. You can see the combine and the auger wagon parked here at the end of the field. Get out of the tractor, go jump in the truck, and let's go see how much money we made from this wheat. 1,500 bushel. $1,500 bushel at $25 would be $37,000. So I'm not gonna complain if that's what we get from this now. Well, looks like I missed a little strip there on the end. That might be enough to get one more there. So we're gonna run over. This truck is pretty loud, so I'm just gonna time lapse this real quick. got all the straw sold off. We got the wheat sold off. We're up to $157,000. So we're going to close out this episode. Just a little bit of construction here. So I'm going to look. What are these? These are 3005s. I think, like I said earlier, I only need one silo, because I'm only going to have one crop on each farm. So a 3005 holds 12,000 bushel. But I think if I go to this 3606, I don't know if my auger, we can get a bigger auger if we need to. So we're going to sell the 230. We're going to get rid of these. And we're going to put down just one. I don't think I need 25,000 bushel, but hey, you never know. Let's just go ahead and do it. So we're going to put down a single 25,000 bushel bin there. So that takes us down to $125,000. Let's see if we can. Sorry about the feedback. The kids were playing with my microphone earlier and I lost the cover piece to it. So it's picking up all my breathing and stuff. So let's put down some of that. Let's put down a little bit of gravel grass here. So now the only other thing we're going to need for this farm then is going to be the silo to make the cow feed. That's going to set us off by about 40,000. That's not bad. I think I want to put that. Trying to decide if I want to put it up here or kind of right here in the middle. Well, that solves that. It's going to say it overlaps with something there. I don't know what it's overlapping with, but we'll go ahead and put this up here at the top. For $40,000. Oh, gotta do a little landscaping around that now. Which one is this? Did my gravels change on me? Yeah, a little bit. So, and then we'll just put some of this around this too. And now we have our silo for when it comes time to start mixing our cattle feed. We still got $82,000 in the bank. Hopefully I don't have to get a new auger. So now if I go over here. So I'm going to need 600 pieces of corn gluten meal, 280 hay, 280 silage, and 40 straw to make 1,200. That's not bad. So all of our corn is going to have to go to the ethanol plant. Now the ethanol plant will hold 1,000,000 liters in this 24,000 bushel bin. Will hold about, so yeah. So basically all of our corn is going to have to go to the dealership. So if we need some more money, we can take this bin down. But eventually, the other thing I'm going to need to do, and I don't know if I have enough money for it now, I'm going to need to put up a fermenting silo. Why is that $200,000? That is ridiculous. Just to put up a silo to turn my chaff and grass into silage. Is that the only option I have? I might have to look at some mods that are cheaper than that, or else I might just have to put that down and give me the money back. That is ridiculous. There's no way this thing costs $250,000. I can see 60,000 for that. We don't need it yet, so eventually we will, and then we can put that down right here. And actually, that matches what's already here with the other, so I could just sneak it in right there, right next to them, and make it work. So that's what we'll do. So I'm gonna go back to the other farm and probably sell one of the bins over there. We'll have to see if that auger will reach the top of this. It should. I do have 3 straw bales left. They were a different size than the rest of them because I changed the size that I was doing in the middle of it. So we got that. But I'm not going to sell those for now. The last thing I'm going to do, and hopefully with $80,000 I have enough money for this, is we got to get 2 more headers for this other combine. So we need an 853A. We'll go ahead and lease. We'll just do that. And then we need an 843. There we go. So now we're set for harvest, which will probably be what happens in the next video. But there we got our headers now set up, ready to go. You can see the difference between the corn header and the soybean header is just the different chains that are in there. But that should set us up to go ahead and move ahead to harvest in our next episode. I think we're going to go ahead and plow up this field over here and all of that off camera. And our next video will be harvest action. So as always, thank you everybody for watching. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I realize I didn't say that in my last video, but hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving last week, and hopefully everybody's set up to have a good Christmas holiday. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and be on the lookout for more videos in the future.